A Victorian Gothic manor in the English countryside that was home to the late Rolling Stones drummer Charlie Watts in the 1970s and 80s has hit the market for £7.95 million, 9.67 million US dollars. Known as Foscombe House, the imposing castle-like mansion is in the village of Ashleworth, on the outskirts of Gloucester, about 120 miles northwest of London. Historian Sir Nikolaus Pevsne, in his monumental 46-volume architectural guide, described the 1866 house as an unspoiled Victorian fantasy in an unsurpassed situation commanding exquisite views in all directions, according to Savills, which listed the home earlier this month. Watts, who was nicknamed the Wembley Whammer by Mick Jagger, became a permanent member of the Rolling Stones in 1963, shortly after the band's creation. He remained with the iconic band for 58 years, until his death in 2021 at the age of 80, at which point he, along with Jagger and Keith Richards, were the only band members to have performed on every one of Stones' studio albums. Watts bought the house in 1976 and lived there until 1983, Savills said, and in true rocker style, converted a coach house into a music studio during his tenure. The outbuilding is now a 2,000 square foot guest house, complete with a castellated tower, turrets, and an ornately carved stone orangery. The house is the epitome of glorious Victorian Gothic architecture, according to Ed Sugden, director of Savills' country department. The height and proportions of the rooms creates the most wonderful flow of living space, and for such a substantial property, there is a feeling of comfortable living and a warm environment further enhanced by the far-reaching outlook from all the principal rooms, Sugden said. The cherry on top is that guests will be able to stay over in the coach house that was once the music studio of a Rolling Stone, he added. The current owner has restored and refurbished the 8-bedroom property, the brokerage said, and it's full of period charm. There's a sitting room with a pyramid stone fireplace, an ornate beamed ceiling and decorated stone corbels, a drawing room which overlooks the grounds, a chef's kitchen, and a formal dining room. The bedrooms, with views across the surrounding countryside, are spread across the upper floors of the home, and at the top of the tower is the smoking room, fitted with trefoil windows, a fireplace, and direct access to the roof terrace. There's also a converted stable block that's now a recreational building, with a kitchen, a resistance pool, sauna, and steam cabin. On the home's 52 acres are flower meadows, lawns and parkland, as well as a Japanese-style garden, terraces, vegetable gardens, a greenhouse, and ponds. The owner, who paid £3 million for the property in 2011, according to property records, has planted thousands of trees during their residency, and much of the land has been planted and maintained to attract wildlife, with quiet areas for nesting ducks and denser wooded areas for deer, Savills said. In 1989, Watts was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the Rolling Stones, and in 2004 was inducted into the UK Music Hall of Fame, also with the Rolling Stones. He is widely considered to be one of the greatest drummers of all time. The Victorian bolt hole isn't the only piece of Watts' legacy available for sale. A collection of the drummer's things is headed to auction later this week at Christie's in London. The sale includes his copy of F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby, which could sell for £300,000, as well as an array of jazz memorabilia. Nor is it the only Rolling Stones-related property to be changing hands. Last month, Mick Jagger and his partner, choreographer, and former ballerina Melanie Hamrick sold their waterfront home in Florida for $3.25 million.